All right, guys, welcome back to the Johnny and Sergio show. I think this is episode 26 or 27, not sure, but we have two very special guests, Barron and Helen, out of San Antonio, who run a cleaning business out of, I said San Antonio already, I think, but Alpha Elite Service out of San Antonio, $55,000 a month, not even a year old, absolutely crushing in the cleaning game. Super excited to talk to them today about what's working, what's not working, how they got started, and where they want to eventually take the business, because I think that I know anybody watching this has a ton to learn from them. So that being said, guys, welcome to the Johnny and Sergio show.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So, yeah, I mean, take us back, guys. Tell us a little bit about Alpha Elite Service, what you guys do, and how you got started.
Well, we're Alpha Elite Service here in San Antonio. We are the gold standard in property care. We cover everything from residential, commercial, construction cleanup. And we started on September 1st last year. And it's just been pretty much a rocket ship from when we first started. And I got to give Johnny and Sergio kudos because, what they created with HSA and giving us the pathway, the path to learn how to do this has been just definitely a game changer, a perspective changer, and most importantly, a mindset changer for us.
Dude, I love that gold standard line. When you say mindset standard, like where were you guys mentally or like mindset wise before this? Like, because you guys are from W2, you're still in your like normal day-to-day job. So like, what was your mindset on entrepreneurship and the cleaning industry, things like that?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, Barron comes from that sales mind frame and entrepreneurship. I have, background as far as dealing with contractors and dealing with contracts and reading them and things like that. So we've experienced a lot of entrepreneurship opportunities. Dealing with clothing lines. We've done deed hunting, things like that. But ultimately, this business fits for us and our future and what we want to see with our cleaning company.
Technical difficulties, but we're back. We were talking to you guys about what you had the question. What was the question?
Just like your guys' mindset, because you said your mindset changed as you like started the business, went through it. So where were you guys at before, like with your day-to-day jobs? What made you want to start a business, things like that?
Yeah, I don't know. We kind of tried a couple different things in the past: screen printing, dye sublimation, deed hunting, those kinds of things. I wasn't so. I like the creative piece of screen printing, but I'm not a mechanically inclined person, so that didn't work out too well. But there was like a weird period because I always knew that there was something greater out there. So like we had moved to Manteca in 16. So like from 16 to like 20, I used to go upstairs to Helen's office. I don't know. I'm excited about something. I don't know what the hell it is, but I'm just excited about life. And then fast forward to 2023. Actually, my buddy Charlie, we were going to actually do a screen printing / promotional product company together, but we ended up exiting California and coming to the great state of Texas. And she had given me a little game and said, I hooked up with HSA, and I looked you two up and I said, well, these guys are youngsters, bro. Like, they're young, bro. And it's like, and Charlie's around your guys' age. And I said, Charlie, man, if this is true, these guys give me hope in the next generation. So, you go from being an entrepreneur inside corporate America or, other small businesses in the area, and then you kind of take the leap into entrepreneurship. And for Helen and I, it was more of like the perfect storm because I really like talking to people. I really like building value and relationships, and I'm really fanatical about customer service. And then she comes from the other aspect of the company to where she's working with vendors, she's working with homeowners, so on and so forth. So it was kind of like the perfect storm. And then, we signed up for HSA and, follow the path. But where the mindset shift comes into is you go from struggling and striving to earn 100 to 150K a year to now we're going, okay, well, how can we get to 250K a month in albeit revenue, but it's just the mindset, right? You go from, oh, wow, 150K a year is attainable, in a 20-year time span, 15-year time span of building up your career to being an entrepreneur. And now we're like, okay, well, how do we get to the next level? How do we get to that 125K a month? Then how do we take this to 200K a month? How do we get to 225 a month? So that's where the mindset shift comes in.
Yeah, and what has been your guys' progression so far since you launched last September? Like, how fast did it take off? Can you give the audience some numbers around just how fast you guys have been growing? Because it's been pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the first month we did like $3,000. Second month we already hit like the 10 grand mark. Third month we hit 15 to 20. By the fourth month we were already at 30. And then fifth month, it's just been progressing ever since. So right now we're in our 9th month, which is about 230, 240 days, and we've got 220 5-star reviews. And we're hovering at about 55, almost breaking the 60K a month mark. And now we're trying to figure out, okay, let's shore up the systems and processes to have that foundation, and then what levers can we pull to right now the goal is just to 2x it to get to 100K a month by the end of the year.
Oh, that's I mean, it seems like you guys are pacing that. I'm curious, what was it like when you guys made your first sale? Did you guys feel any type of way about it? Were you guys excited? How was it?
We were like shocked. It was really exciting to see that. We did the Just A classes, and it was neat to see, like, okay, the phone rang and we closed it, and not only that, but we had a cleaner ready to roll, and we met the cleaner on site, and we helped the cleaner because we didn't know what we were doing, right? So we went out there, and, it wasn't in the greatest condition, but we went in and we tackled it. We helped the cleaner out. The cleaner was blessed. She was with us for quite some time. And then, since then, now we know we don't have to go to help jobs. We do the subcontracting, and we facilitate the jobs outside of the actual residence unless we absolutely have to go in and help. We've had a few instances, but it's very rare. So it's nice to be able to run that remote business and grow.
Yeah, we post your guys' stories sometimes, and it's so funny because we get people who are like, there's no way. Why would they be doing that and still working jobs? So what would you tell someone who doesn't believe that? Because I think, like, that's not a normal thing to do, right? You don't run a 60K, 55K a month business on the side of your 9 to 5. That's not a normal thing. Usually somebody running that size of business is like, hey, this is my full-time thing, right? And so what has been your guys' experience balancing, a mid 6-figure, soon to be 7-figure business while still having both of your day jobs?
Right.
Well, I think for us, we're kind of just all about massive action. So if anything, it's kind of augmented to what we do on our day jobs. It's made us better in everything that we do. I mean, I think we bring a lot more value to the table within those W-2 jobs, those corporate America jobs. Ultimate goal, I mean, my advice to anybody who's thinking about doing this is really, and I do circle back to the mindset piece, right? Like, you have to have the mindset about being about massive actions. The balancing piece, sometimes that's a bad word because I don't think there's much balance in life. We just plow through and make it happen, right? That's the perspective. That's the mindset. We do try to incorporate balance with the kids and family stuff, but like when it comes to our careers and Alpha Elite Service, we're plowing through, right? Like we just make it happen. Like it's ready, shoot, aim type of situation versus ready, aim, shoot. It's ready, shoot, aim. So
have you read that book?
I haven't read that book, but I'm familiar with the title.
Yeah, no, it's pretty solid. But that's interesting. And how, I'm curious, because you guys are building a business together. You were already married, and now on top of a layer deeper on the marriage, you now run a business together, which is a whole other partnership. So how do you guys, what's your experience been running a business while married, and also how do you guys kind of balance things, divvy things up? Do you guys fight? Like, come on, what's that like?
I'll talk.
Go first. Go first.
I mean, ultimately, I think it's actually brought us closer together because we have that, the goal to build our business. We want to, we have our own family goals and our personal goals that we're trying to achieve. We have a mortgage, we have vehicles. So we've taken our daytime jobs and this business, and we've paid off a vehicle in 8 months. We just purchased another vehicle. We're working on knocking down our mortgage so we can be debt free. We're able to do things with our kids more. And then as a married couple, we work together. We talk about the business and how we can improve it, and how we can train our VAs and all that good stuff to just make it a successful business. We don't want to fail at this point. We've invested too much already. So
Yeah, I'll piggyback on that. Like I always told her, and like when we were kind of from the old way of thinking, I used to tell Helen, it's like, man, it would be so awesome if we worked together. We actually shared offices. Like we created offices at home where we're in the same office, but I talked too loud, so that didn't work out. But I always told her, I said, what, we would make an awesome team if we had some kind of a business to just go after. And it's kind of coming to fruition with HSA and then building Alpha Elite Service. It's kind of coming to fruition. So like Helen was saying, it's definitely brought us closer. And I think the real value proposition in the whole thing is that a lot of people strive to like, I want to leave a legacy for my kids and leave them a bunch of money and so on and so forth. But maybe we'll do that. I mean, we want to enjoy while we're here. We're going to be smart about that. But I think it's more so passing down the attitudes and perspectives and being around people who are movers and shakers like Johnny and Sergio, like the people within HSA who are other like-minded entrepreneurs striving for the same thing. They're movers and shakers. So we get to be around that, and we also get to expose our children around that. I think that's where the real value comes in run a family business.
Okay, let me just interrupt real quick to tell you about Home Service Academy. It's the company Sergio and I run. Home Service Academy is essentially a business in the box where our team will actually roll up our sleeves and help you build a house cleaning business and run it completely remotely from anywhere in the world, from dirt to however big you actually want to take it. To date, we've helped over 1,500 people start and grow their existing house cleaning businesses all across the US and Canada. It's something we've gotten very, very good at. And if you've been looking to dip your toe into entrepreneurship, whether that's to go full-time in a business, to replace an income, or just build a side hustle that produces you an extra whatever amount of money you want to make on the side, on top of your current 9-to-5, then click the link in the bio and book a call with our team. It's completely free, and at the very least, you'll see what it looks like to actually run one of these businesses, the time commitments, the amount of money it costs to actually start, and every good and bad thing that can come with running one of these. So again, if that's something you're interested in, click the link in the bio, and let's get back to the pod.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Like, going a layer deeper, how do you think this is impacting your kids? Like, what do they see from, like, the day-to-day of you guys running the business?
Well, they see us as parents, doing basically 2 daytime jobs, and they get to hear customer service and how to treat people and how to help people. There's customers that need that extra help. It's not just cleaning a house. Maybe they're going through something mentally. So they get to learn from those experiences. We've incorporated them into some of, like Canva, just doing before and afters, or updating spreadsheets and things like that. So we like to incorporate them to help us out when, they have nothing to do and they want to make a few extra bucks. So we don't just give them the money, they got to earn it. So that's important to us.
And then also exposing them to the perspective of, you could go one route. You're going to start off somewhere in life and you're going to be going after X amount, but you got to know that the door, there's, you take a peek above. Like if you're on a cliff and you pop your head above and you get to see, there's other avenues to have more options in life, which equals, having more money, and that they're exposed to that too. So I think that's really a great thing for them. Like, will they act on it? I don't know, but at least they've been exposed to it. And I think we've done a good job because everything that we've done, Helen and I, if we look back at our track record, everything we've done, and maybe it hasn't been aggressive as I wanted it to be, but we started off in an apartment. we went to a townhouse, we went to a condo, we went to a home, we went to a brand new home built, then we went to another brand new home built. The next one's going to be 5,000 square foot single level. But everything we do is we're always trying to level up, and getting involved with this is really dumped fire on that for us. So super blessed, super thankful.
You know what, man? I appreciate the shout outs to HSA and all the credit you're giving, but it's not about HSA, man, because your results are not typical, guys. Like, genuinely, your results are not typical. I can't sit here and say, hey, come to an HSA and you're going to get results like Barron Helen. That's not the normal. And it takes a level of work ethic and discipline and, like you said, massive action, no matter what, to just keep plowing through and growing the business. Because even experienced entrepreneurs who start another business, who go and do it again, don't do stuff that you guys are doing right now, at the growth rate you guys are on. And so, what would you like? What did you guys do so different? Like tactically speaking, like in the cleaning business, what is working for you guys that's allowing you to grow so quickly? Is it running ads? Is it doing outbound sales? Because I know you, Barron, you like to go, door to door a little bit. Like, what is it? Like, what sets you guys apart tactically?
I mean, we have a mix of everything, but number one is customer service. And we want to ensure that our customers have that experience that is a 5-star experience from start to finish. So we ensure that by reaching out to our customers after their cleaning. We ensure that they're satisfied with their cleaning. But on top of that, we just ensure that our cleaners are trained. We handle any issues. We reach out to the clients right away. And then outside of that, I actually forgot what I was saying.
Well, I think a large part of our success is we just followed the path. We didn't digress too much. We just followed the path and kept it super simple, and just plowed through stuff. Like I was telling Helen when we first started, I said, look, we got a cleaner and we got the phone ringing. We're in business. Let's roll. And that's basically what it was all about, right? We had one cleaner. That was it. And we had one phone call, and then it was on and cracking. Like, we're straight grinding. From that point forward, once we got that first taste, and I was like, oh, okay. I ain't gonna lie. Like, we went to that first cleaning, and it was an interesting deal, right? We've never seen people, an environment like that. And I was like, at first I was like, oh shoot, what did we get ourselves into? But once that first payment came in, and we saw that, it was like, it was off to the races, right? Like, it's like, okay, give me the next one. Let me continue to repetitiously do this so we can continue to get better and better. Instead of like shying away from dealing with customers, it's like, now give it to me more. Okay, you're going to get your first complaint. It's like, okay, we were shook on our first complaint, right? But then after you, because it's just a human nature, right? In any business, it's all about solving problems. And we strive to give 5-star service, but we're all humans. So sometimes, it does turn out to be a 4-star service, but we've learned how to take those, learn from it, make it right, and make it right with the customer. And that's really the winning formula. Yeah.
So that's a customer service aspect, but we do marketing. We do cold outbound. We have Google LSA for leads. So there's a lot of avenues that give us the business that we're basically put us in the position that we're at. So, but number one is customer service. If we don't have a good company, then the phones aren't going to ring. So.
Yeah. We always tell the customers, hey, you could call, text, email, smoke signal, whatever the case may be. We're always here. You can get a hold of us. And I think another piece of that foundation, the layer of the foundation to drive success, is keeping one-liners. Staying focused on residential at the outset. Residential is the foundation. Residential, it comes with cash flow. Once you get the cash flowing, and you guys, our coach, right? I was scared, right? When it was time to hire a VA, I was scared to death. But once I got past that, I was like, oh my God, I had to pinch myself. I was like, wow, we've created something to where we could actually positively affect other people's lives, not only, as a virtual assistant and in our cleaners as well. So that's also part of the thing too. It's like the customer, we're super customer focused, customer centric, but at the same time, and here comes that balance where it is we balance out that perspective with, our cleaners and our VAs and all of the team, Alpha Elite team is just as important, because without them, we have nothing both ways.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say something.
Yeah,
I think the lesson here, guys, is that you guys just crush it at doing the basics really, really well. And you took a long, I really like how long you guys took before starting to delegate some of the stuff to a VA, because even this isn't on recording, we weren't recording, but even when there was a small little fire in the business, I heard you chopping it up with the customer on the phone, put your whole customer service voice on too. Didn't sound like how you sound right now. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. And a lot of people just don't do that. And if you do that early on, and even with your guys' full-time job, you still made time to answer the phone calls, book the jobs, close the deals. And that compound, the goodwill that compounds with your customers just goes so far, rather than just outsourcing everything super quick.
Yeah, and to piggyback on that, I want to really emphasize for anyone listening that some people are, good at getting leads, but then they can't find good cleaners. Or the opposite. Maybe they find cleaners, but they can't get leads. But you guys are doing both of them really well. And I think that's where that balance comes in, because then you can grow a business like this. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, and we're really just scratching the surface, when it comes to getting those leads. We're looking at different channels to do that, and now I think we're at a place to where we're saying, okay, it's time to, let's become a complete company, and we're focusing in on different departments or different segments that we're going to be going after as well. It's really a joy to provide this. We're a solutions-based business. We're a needs-based business. And so it's really nice to partner with people in the community and that need our service, and to really deliver for them. It's a very rewarding thing, I think, to say the least.
Yeah.
Dude, let's talk about the future, right? I know you guys want to grow, but how? How are you guys going to grow? Because you were talking big numbers, 125, 250K a month. How do you guys plan on getting there?
Go ahead, Hill.
I mean, ultimately, we want to do our best in our local area and just be number one here, but we also want to expand to other areas in Texas. So we haven't narrowed those down quite yet. We've talked about it, but ultimately we do have plans to definitely take over other cities.
Yeah, to add to that, I think the levers that we pull is, right now, just super stay focused on our market share here is in the area that we're in right now, in the San Antonio area. Stay focused on our market share, expanding our share of wallet, meaning going after more recurring services on the residential and commercial piece, and then getting out there and in the community with some of the decision makers with different B2B or businesses that we can come in and service on a business to business level. I think gets this area to some healthy numbers. We shore up the systems and processes here and teams, and then we start mimicking that in other areas.
Yeah, I'm so glad you guys are doing it that way, because I know just people make 5-10K a month and they want to go and take over the world and start opening new cities, new states, but you guys are doing these numbers in one spot. It can go even more than that. So you guys are definitely doing it the right way.
Yeah, and I think there's enough room in San Antonio to get to 200, 250 where you guys want to go, if not bigger.
Absolutely.
I mean, between all the new, I know it's kind of booming still, isn't it? There's a lot of new construction going up.
Oh yeah, you spin 360, you see the new building everywhere you turn.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of room in San Antonio for sure. But outside of just the plan to get there with opening locations and stuff like that, what is the goal with Alpha Elite? Is it to eventually sell it one day? Do you eventually want to leave your guys' jobs? If so, it's getting to the point where that might make sense for at least one of you. Do you have plans for that? Walk us through the vision, short term and long.
So ultimately, we have actually been discussing one of us leaving our daytime jobs to start with, and then we'll continue to grow. And as we get to a certain level, then we'll go ahead and have the other one leave their daytime corporate job. So corporate world is just not for us. It's working for it right now, which is why we're taking advantage of that basically. And, we want to, just ride it out as long as we can, because it gives us that financial freedom that we're looking for. And at some point soon, one of us will be full-time AES.
Yeah, and on a 5-year plan, I mean, I'm looking to be at about 3 million a year in revenue at a 30% profit margin in 5 years. I think that opens the door. We're always building this with an exit plan, with an exit in mind, not an exit plan yet, but an exit in mind, exiting in mind. But I'd love to grow this thing as large as we can. I mean, right now we're not stuck at a level, but we're at a level. And being at this certain level, I mean, it just fuels the hunger. It's called being blissfully dissatisfied, in getting to the next level. So I mean, I wake up always thinking about, okay, what can we do? What can we do better to get to the next level? And really, it always comes back down to us. It's like, it's not how. It's like the question isn't how. The question is who. Who do I need to create as a person, as Barron? Who does Helen need to be as a person? Who does she need to be or create as a person to help us get to the next level? I think is kind of like where we're at right now.
Barron, what books have you been reading, man? Because the Barron I'm talking to right now is completely different than the Barron that came through HSA 9 months ago. So.
That's that perspective shift, Johnny.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's awesome to see,
Good.
man. Those are great goals for sure. And I mean, the sky's the limit, right? Like the higher up you get in the revenue levels, the more cash flow you have, the more fun you get to have in a way, because it opens you up to other channels to grow, right? Not just like, hey, I can do like SEO or I can do Facebook ads now. No, you can just start buying other people's companies. Maybe you buy another company that's your size. You put some cash down and you finance the rest, and boom, you go from a $3 million to a $6 million business, just from buying something. So, yeah, man, the sky's the limit. That's awesome. What have been some big struggles for you guys throughout this journey in the last 9 months of growing this business, as far as whether that be hiring cleaners or marketing? What biggest struggle?
And maybe throw in like a crazy story. Some cleaning that just went horribly wrong.
You have to. That's crazy.
Well, I'm going to refer to like our first cleaner. I will always cherish our first cleaner because she got us to where we are today. And she was a beast. She took on anything and everything, and she was always available. And we sent her to one job, and basically it was a property that just got built by the client, and they were using it for like a dog boarding place. And we sent her there, and we got complaints that she just took off and left, and we never heard back from her. So yeah, she took off, and we never heard from her. She never called for her final pay. We don't know what happened to her, and to this day we just don't know. So, and it's such a shame because she was with us for about 2 months, and then she left for a little bit, and then she came back and said, I had a death in the family. We met up with her, had her re-sign paperwork, and then she did that one job and disappeared again. So that's our weird story. And then you asked another question. Forgot.
Yeah, I think he asked what are the biggest struggles that you guys have had in the business?
Yeah, what's the hardest part of running the business?
Yeah.
I would say the hardest part ultimately is, continuing to hire cleaners and finding good quality cleaners. You'll hear every cleaner tells you they have 20 years experience when you do a test clean and it's more like they had 2 weeks experience. We actually have our own ways of doing test cleans. We kind of sprinkle dirt in areas and little crevices. We make sure that we have really good 5-star cleaners. So hiring people that can handle those little tasks and ensuring that they're getting the nooks and crannies, that's our struggle. And then marketing, marketing is okay right now. We're just now starting up on the outbound, like the cold, what's it called? Cold calls and, Facebook marketing, things like that. So the organic is where we struggle. And we're now starting that up on our end to bring down our lead rates and investments, I guess you could say.
Our customer acquisition.
Yeah, customer acquisition. So, that's our main thing, is just trying to get into the more of the organic world, because our recurring numbers are pretty good, but the organic part is where we need to improve.
Yeah.
I think with that said too, it's like the finding good cleaners, but we have a really great core team of about 8 cleaning crews, and they are rock star 5 stars. Everybody on our crew right now, they're 5-star cleaners. And so, it's just continuing to add and augment on different cleaners with different experience is I kind of maybe a bit of a challenge. I mean, let me try to jog my head. What other challenges have we had?
Just real quick, you guys bring up a good point, right? And we've been talking about this a lot lately in our content the last couple of weeks, is just knowing the game you're in. And when you're cleaning, you're in the staffing game. And
right.
It's a testament to that, knowing what game you're in, because you said earlier you're at over 200 reviews now. You're getting reviews at a record pace, probably faster than anybody even in Accelerator. I think you're going to pass Orange Window Cleaning soon with the amount of reviews you guys are getting, which is awesome. And it's because you guys do a great job at recruiting. Like you said, you have a crew of 5-star cleaners because your cleaners are the product. So if you do a good job at the cleaners, you'll get the reviews, you'll build the reputation. It'll help your marketing. It'll help your closing rate because you build a good reputation. It solves all the problems. So kudos to you guys for figuring that really early. You have anything?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that crazy story you guys had is like an unsolved mystery. Like, I'm still thinking about it. It's pretty weird.
Did you ever search up on Google the name of any?
We have actually. Yeah. And even our background check provider, we checked if there was any updates, and no updates. So I don't know if maybe she left the country, or I don't know. We tried. And the funny part about it is her son would help. And her son would help go to the cleanings, and we reached out to him and no response. So we have no idea where either of them went, and nothing came up. So
did you try calling for a random number? Like a number she wouldn't know?
But like she said, we always recognize her and we always talk about her, and, very thankful for her service at the outset. Very thankful.
Have you guys tried calling her from a random number?
I think we did.
Yeah.
I have a Google number. So no response. It was the most weirdest thing.
That's super random. Well, I think that's a good place to wrap it. Guys, if anybody sees this, which there'll be a few people that see this at least, and if they want to reach out to you, they want to pick your brain, or they want to get connected and whatever it may be, where's the best place to reach you guys?
Cool. We have our inbox in the Instagram. It's alpha_elite service, or alpha_elite_ service, or you can also reach us on Facebook under Alpha Elite Service.
Okay, we'll plug both
you can
those
reach us
links.
via Messenger there. Yeah.
Can you unmute? Yeah, we'll plug both those links in the description. But Barron, Helen, guys, Alpha Elite Service, crushing it to the moon. Thank you guys so much for your time. Really appreciate it. This was awesome, and I think a lot of people will get a lot of value out of this. And thank you for coming on.
100%.
All right.
Thank you,
Good
guys.
to go.